Okay. Section 2BA Trade Practices Act puts all state authorities under the heading of the Trade Practices Act. All state authorities, meaning local government as well. Okay, they're a shop. So they can be sued, as this writ says, they can be sued.
That's the
the Shire Council, because they've got a CEO. It's a shop. It's just a fancy shop. Now,
but aren't you suing yourself because they claim that that government is your government? So how can you sue yourself?
Well, they get you to vote for them. So you're a chattel of the corporation.
But they're unelected there.
Well, they are. Some of the representatives are elected, but that's just one arm of it. The corporate arm, which overrides and does all the spending, we don't vote for.
Who's the body that's elected? I know the mayor's elected.
And the councillors are elected, yeah.
The council body is elected. But there's a hierarchy in there that's not elected.
That's right.
So
that's right.
The other ones are useless.
Well, in effect they are. And it comes back to the amount of money that the CEO gets. On average, about the same as the Prime Minister.
It all depends how tough you are. The bureaucrats have a mission to control the councillors that are, they think they're only there to supply money for them. I'll shut up.
Cole.
The Melbourne Water, they're a shop entity, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they can't charge me rates on water because they're out on their own, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right. Now, realistically, Shire councils can only impose a levy against us for the services provided. They most certainly have no capacity to impose any tax on our land. And this comes out of section 114 of the Constitution. I'll read it out. A state shall not, without the consent of the Parliament, don't forget, it's a state authority as defined in the Trade Practices Act. Okay? A state shall not, without the consent of the Parliament of the Commonwealth, raise or maintain any naval or military force or impose any tax on property of any kind belonging to the Commonwealth, nor shall the Commonwealth impose any tax on property of any kind belonging to a state.
Couldn't they say they get that through the Australia Act, 86?
No, this is under...
No, but a state government, couldn't they say they get that authority because it is an act of a parliament?
No.
I know that I'm not saying the Australia Act's a lawful act.
I know.
But they think it is, and I bet you that's where they think they get their head of now from.
No. The Constitution, if they have to show that power that they are deeming is consistent with 15A of the Acts Interpretation Act. Okay, all roads lead back to Rome. Right? Rome is what we've found, what we've established here is the Constitution and all the laws that stem from it. Where there's an inconsistency, we treat that inconsistency as void, as per Section 109 Constitution. Okay. 9 Constitution. Now that inconsistency it's like a clause inconsistency, because you'll find that thread of inconsistency in every act, like we found in the Local Government Act. We've been doing a migration case over the last few years, and we've looked up the Migration Act. Again, there's an inconsistency clause there. You ought to treat any part of the Migration Act as inconsistent with respect to the Constitution, if it fails to meet the requirements of the Constitution. Okay. Jim.
Doesn't Section 76 and 55 of the Constitution essentially say the same thing?
Yes.
That all laws must
Yes, and section 107, Constitution, 106, Constitution of every state of the Commonwealth shall be subject to this Constitution. Okay, all roads lead back to this document here. Okay, and yet in the Australia Act, section 5 says this is not affected. Okay, it's over there though. We're not taking any notice of it. Okay, so if we've got a dispute regarding between our local government and our land, if we're politically protesting with respect to the levy that's imposed on that land, because it's a breach of our constitution, then we protect ourselves under section 28, but we put a proposal to the local government, this is what we suggest, that says that we will only pay for services rendered. Okay? Yeah. More than happy to pay for those services, but as soon as you impose a levy against the land, you're breaching my constitutional rights. So it's our duty to inform about our elected members that, you know, this is the space they've got to sit under, because they've been misinformed. And the Australia Act has been doing that. It's been convincing our elected members that everything's rosy over there at the Australia Act room, but it's not. Colin.
They've got the right to charge you for the water you use, but have they got the right to put fluoride in?
Under the state law, yes, but one problem we have with our constitution is very little reference to water. Okay? Very little reference. It's sort of handed over to the state with respect to that. Only section 100 of this covers water, and it says that no state authority may abridge your right to that water. But that's it. It doesn't actually specifically say that the water's got to be of a certain condition.
Well, they're claiming a right to that water when they're putting fluoride in water.
Well, no, they're breaching the International Covenant, Article 7, I think it is, which states that they're conducting a medical experiment. Okay.
Okay. Conducting a medical experiment. Now, what they do, they say it's good for your teeth. Now, that means they are felon, and if they put the stuff in the water, that means they are terrorists.
Yeah, it's an act of terrorism, but the act of terrorism didn't come in until Ruddock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, shouldn't it be services requested and rented?
Yes, because some places do not get the full gambit of local government services. I know we're dealing with a case up around Shepparton where this gentleman does not receive any services with respect to the picking up of his rubbish, and yet the council is taking him into court for not paying his rates because he is standing up as a political protester saying, guys, you're breaking my constitutional rights.
This year I've got, it says, in accordance with section 156 of the Local Government Act 1989, we're going to take you to jail.
Okay.
Say we know this. Well, a friend of mine, which you know, John, it cost him nearly $80,000 contesting that.
Yeah, no,
How can you do it without, breaking the bank?
well, we do it. I mean, I've been in and out of the courts for years and it hasn't cost me a red cent.
Yeah, but what's your asset? What do you own? If you've got assets, you're going to try to hang on to it. But he put his assets on the line and he lost.
Yeah, this is why Peter and I have drafted this class action, because we've come across cases all over Australia where people are just being attacked by these SS troops and who have absolutely no regard for the law at all.